Because I already had my past life, my career in design, I feel that if somebody is wanting to transition from a different space, I think that would really help them, because they'll be able to add that much more value to their market, whichever market it is. And I think perhaps from that point of view, it helps them to have a little bit of a market edge, because this is such a competitive market. There are like so many other recruiters out there, but I think what I bring to the table is something quite unique and quite refreshing, and I can then carry myself with that gravitas, because I have been in the industry and I know what's happening, and I just feel like there's an element of authenticity that I then bring to the table.
Do your research. I mean, things don't tend to move here right now as quickly as perhaps what you might be used to if you're working in, say, Europe or the States, and that is probably one of the main adjustments you have to make here. And a lot of the time here in the Middle East, definitely it's about who you know as well as what you know, of course. So big emphasis. I mean, there's a lot of networking opportunities here, whether it be events or social media. So definitely make every effort you can to kind of go attend these networking events and actually meet with other people.
I think Halian's a very unique business because we are small enough to be able to be agile and adapt quickly to customer needs, and also take on the requirements of 2 to 3 roles that customers need. But we're also big enough to have an engine there that's able to go and deliver high volume projects too. And that's quite rare. Most recruitment companies are boutiques and they'll take on a small amount of business, or they are huge corporates, right, who go and take on massive projects. And we actually can do both of those, right? One of the things that we're finding is adding the most value to our customers is on a project basis. So I think the recruitment landscape is evolving, definitely since I got here 6 years ago, whereby previously recruiters were simply seen as CV engines, right? Companies just wanted us to provide them with candidates and leave it there. And now what they're understanding is they can actually learn from us, right? So which technology should we adopt? Because if you're going to adopt a technology but you don't know that you can attract people who use that technology, you could be going down a blind alley, right? So which technology should we adopt? How do we attract those people? How do we build a strong employee value proposition to the market? What are our competitors doing that we're not doing?
So I'd probably say the biggest characteristic I've brought with me from my army days is being robust. There will be elements and times in the recruitment industry where you get knocked back, and it's how you kind of get back up and carry on with that. So for me, being quite robust and determined is probably the best thing I've brought with me from the army.
What attracted me to Halian is the talent internally. So the individuals that I work with, which was the biggest attraction for me. Understanding, people's experiences, what clients they'd worked with previously, what roles and at what levels, and then just the working environment. I found that it was very different to a lot of the boutiques that I'd worked in. I found that even though seen as a corporate entity, it still has that sort of family feel. When compared to some of the bigger agencies out there in the market. So that was a big attraction to me, and I think we dominate in tech. There's not an agency that even comes close, that has specialised within a particular area and done it extremely well over over a 10-year period being in the Middle East.
Absolutely. I think design is quite a subjective thing. There isn't really a formula. Like, for example, if you're looking at, I don't know, a DevOps engineer or a back-end engineer, you have to know like the certain languages and things like that. There's a formula to it almost. Design is very subjective. There are all these nuances, and I used to do a lot of work with Huge and RGA, and the minute you're looking at Huge, the portfolio, their requirements is very, very, different to what another digital space would be wanting, and the nuances are very, very hard to read I think, if you don't come from a design background. And I think it really helps me when I then go and talk to the clients to be able to kind of bridge the gap, so to speak.
You need great people to find great people, right? I've always thought this, that if you have great people here, they'll find great people out there. So again, we've in 14 months since I joined the business and we launched the search function of Halian, we've hired 14 people. So it's one person a month. And we've done that I've spent a lot of my time on making sure that we attract the best talent from the global market. Best recruiters will find the best talent.
There's still a big demand. We're seeing obviously the fintech market and all that ecosystem grow extensively, especially across the GCC countries. And then we're also seeing a large chunk of M&A activity within this market and transactional banking and trade finance. So markets are very much growing, requiring both obviously that tech and non-tech talent, which we're here to provide at Halian.
I've been here 7.5 years now, and you wake up every day, the sun's shining. The lifestyle you live here is tremendous. There's opportunities here are endless, so I don't see why people wouldn't relocate to Dubai.